Hello everyone, Stryker here, and I'm back with more Zach Rios going over people's financial decisions. I can't say I'm like the most financially savvy person. Um, but ever since like watching a lot of Caleb Hammer's videos, I've been trying my best to improve financially. And unfortunately, sometimes the most effective but sometimes cruel ways to learn lessons is by living through it. Um, Hopefully, this video at least inspires people to make better financial decisions or at least think more about the financial decision you're about to make. Like, do you really need to buy that brand new car? Do you really need to buy the PlayStation 5 Pro? Do you really need to buy these things? Can you save up a couple months? Okay, maybe things happen, right? I understand, like, if your AC was to break tomorrow, would you have money set aside to repair it? I learned that lesson the hard way. It's not fun to go through a whole month of July in North Carolina without AC. It sucks. So, you know, if nothing else, if you have to make purchases that go on a card or something, just think about it a little more before deciding to go through it. But we're gonna watch Zach's video. I really like his channel, like his content, and we're just gonna get started.
Klarna charges every month? Who was gonna tell me this? I thought it took 70% off the price.
Did you have a loan on?
Well, you thought you thought it was like a coupon? Oh, honey, no. Like buy it now, pay later is like just a credit card. It all purpose, in all sense of the word. It might as well be a credit card payment.
The car?
No, ma'am.
So you had no loan.
No, ma'am.
The car cost $1,700.
That was the down payment.
Sorry,
Klarna charges every month? Who was gonna tell me this? I thought it took 70% off the price.
Did you have a loan on the car?
No, ma'am.
So you had no loan.
No, ma'am.
The car cost $1,700.
That was the down payment. The whole price, it was like $7.
So there was a loan.
They financed it.
Well, that's a loan.
that's a loan.
Oh, okay.
I wrote off a $10,000 Bottega Veneta bag as my computer bag, which is true.
All right, so today we're going to be taking a look at people who are financially illiterate. It's something we've gone over quite a bit on this channel because of how important it's become to
I
be
like
good
his
with
shirt.
your money. But there's no other way to put it. Some people have just made bad choices. We have a ton of stuff to go over today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's start off with a clip from someone we haven't seen on this channel before, Judge Judy.
Did you have a loan on the car?
No, ma'am.
So you had no loan.
No, ma'am.
The car cost $1,700.
That was the down payment. The whole price, it was like $7.
So there was a loan.
They financed it.
Well,
That's a loan.
Oh, okay.
That's a loan.
You
Honey.
put down a down payment and the rest you took out as a loan. It was finance. You had to pay it back.
Yes, ma'am.
The finance company gave you a loan.
Nobody gave me a loan because it was car payments on it. So only money that was given was the $1,700.
Is she confusing so wait, hang on. I'm confused about her line of thinking. I thought like originally like okay, maybe she's like I didn't take the loan. It's not my loan. It's the car finance. Did she not know the difference between financing and a loan? Is the same thing? I'm confused on what she's confused about.
Patience.
I'm just going to do this one time, and then we're going to move on. Let's say you bought a car for $10,000. You put down $1,700. That means that you had an $8,300 loan on the
Yes.
car, which had to be paid back.
Yes.
You borrowed $8,300 from the finance company.
Oh, this is going to be a
Yes.
long episode. I bet her interest rate was 27.9%, a car salesman's dream. The problem is she really doesn't know. And I mean, as crazy as this sounds, some people are legitimately like this. They have no knowledge on cars or the whole process going over to the dealership, and that's a real good way to get roped into some horrible deals that we've already seen before. But hopefully the car videos that I've made will help others out there and just to be more knowledgeable overall on the subject.
Yeah, like like I'm not a car person, right? And it is sad because some people, like I'm lucky that I have couple people in my family and who I can ask for help about a car if like, if it's a good deal or not. I do feel bad for people who don't have that resource. They don't have access to someone to tell them if this is a bad deal or not. Um and nowadays, people on the internet will tell you so many things that you don't really know who to trust anymore. So that's also really hard. But I would say, try to research on like if you're not a car person, maybe don't get a brand new car. Get like a car that's a couple years old that has really good reviews. People love the car. Like I have a Toyota Corolla. I originally wanted to switch out of the Corolla, but I've had the Corolla for a while now and I don't really want to change it. It's such a good car. It requires just a basic maintenance on it. Granted, it is a 2021, so it's fairly new. Well, to me, it's new. I've never had a brand new car before, but it's so many people recommended Toyota in to begin with, and there was between a Camry and a Corolla, and I just chose the Corolla. It was cheaper, and payments gonna be nicer, and I'm happy with it. I'm so happy with it. I wouldn't trade my Corolla for nothing else, for anything. But some people, I feel like some people aren't willing to sacrifice certain things to get a car that they can afford. I understand if you have a family and maybe you can't afford or you don't have room for just a car or maybe you haul stuff, fine. Then like get a used truck or a used SUV, uh, and not like the reviews on it, like repairability. Like there's so many like repair mechanic forums out there that can like turn your direction. So there are resources out there. You just kind of, unfortunately, if you don't have a car person in your family, you kind of have to search. You kind of have to research yourself.
I wrote off a $10,000 Bottega Veneta bag as my computer bag, which is true. I'm only ever going to use it when I'm working and or for business things, and to only have it as my like laptop bag. If you're going to use it just for business, it can be a laptop bag. Like nobody says you have to go to Walmart and get a laptop bag, like those nylon ugly bags. Okay.
This is a real easy way to get audited by the IRS. We could go right over to the comments. I asked my accountants if I could do this, fired the ones who said yes. So I could write off a Birkin 35 as my computer bag? No, you can't. This doesn't pass the ordinary and necessary requirement. A $10,000 purse isn't an ordinary expense for a laptop bag. The expense has to be reasonable, bestie. Sorry about your tax bill or your audit, and the IRS agent saving this video for later this year. I know there are a ton of different influencers giving tax advice left and right, writing off all the cars, the vacations, the dinners, all as apparent business expenses, like it's really that easy. And what's really going to happen at the end of the day is you're just going to get audited.
Klarna charges every month? Who was going to tell me this? I thought it took 70% off the price. I bought a laptop. I bought all new furniture. I don't know how I'm going to pay next month. I think I'm going to have to declare bankruptcy.
Okay, so I know this clip wasn't serious, but from the amount of buy now, pay later clips we've seen on this channel, I wouldn't doubt that there are some out there who legitimately think this way. We can't be serious now, just use Apple Pay. It doesn't use your money, it uses Apple money. And it's giving Apple Pay is real money. If you haven't seen that clip before, it's something very similar. We could take a look right now.
If you use Apple Pay, honestly, just be so careful. This is a little embarrassing to admit, but if this could help one person, then I'm really willing to share what my experience was.
Okay.
I'm just gonna lay it out like this. When you use Apple Pay, that's real money. That's true American dollars from your credit card. If you have your credit card connected, that's where the money is being sourced from.
Where did you think it was coming from?
It's not like a special form of Apple Pay, Apple dollars. Why they don't just say this is real money while you're paying?
It is real money. Know. What do you think?
I still remember a clip.
I hope she's joking. Like, well, I have Apple Card, and you had to have a credit check through Gold Sachs. Is that the bank? You had to get a credit check. So what do you mean? What do you mean? It's just a credit card. It's just more convenient to have. Personally, I just find it's more convenient to have Apple Pay. I do have another credit card that I have physically. But like I don't know in what instance did you think that was not your money or you had to pay it back? Crazy. I
From
hope
a
this is a
long time
joke.
ago on the financial audit of somebody who legitimately thought that the credit card was just being paid for by the bank or some
Huh?
other third party. They actually thought it was free money. You really can't
No
make this
way.
kind of stuff up.
My coworker just told me about his 8-year loan term on a Honda Civic at 14%
8?
interest. My heart dropped. I told him exactly what he needed to do to refinance, shop different lenders, and get the out of that deal today. If you're unfamiliar, please do research before ever
8 years
signing
is I've never heard
loan
of years.
paperwork. Look into amortization. Look into what you need to do to fix your credit or increase it. I believe that we are intentionally not taught this so the banks can profit more.
I unironically I believe him. I kind of do agree with that statement to a degree. Like I wasn't really taught finance all that much in school. I had a civics and economic class where it was both US law and finance. And we had lesson one lesson on budgeting. And I don't blame the teacher because they had to follow a curriculum. But yeah, finance was not really taught in school that way. There was an AP finance class, but like I shouldn't have to take that class. That costs money, by the way. AP classes cost money. But that should just be taught in school. Like geometry is cool, fine, but I would rather learn how to balance a budget, understanding compound interest, understanding what is a good term on a loan, uh, all that stuff. What is a good like emergency fund, retirement plan? All none of that stuff is taught. But I guess the caveat is like nowadays, you kind of just have to do research yourself, and I know that sucks. You should be taught these things in school, but you kind of have to advocate for yourself in a way and teach this stuff to yourself. I mean, again, I know I keep referring to Caleb Hammer, but he talked about how he taught himself financial literacy, and he went above and beyond and created a show and everything. You had to do all that, but trying to at least understand the basics, it would do you so much good. Like, oh man,
Educate yourself. Please protect yourself.
I mean,
yeah.
at least in my own opinion, I don't think that's a far-fetched idea. I never
Yeah.
learned any of the things that I know now
Same.
about finance from high school classes. It was all from looking it up myself. And if you didn't
Yes.
go to college or take personal finance classes, you probably wouldn't know either. It's a very easy way to get a lot of people into bad situations. Again, the car payments are
And
a
you're
huge one along with the
always
credit
on the
cards.
hook.
Interest rates
You're
will
always having to
absolutely eat
have
you
a
alive.
job.
I know someone who just signed a loan at 14.8% interest for 72 months on a
6
2021
years?
car with over 100,000 miles. I had a 30%
Oh,
interest on a car when I was 20. There you go,
yes.
another young person. I thought 60 months was the max on auto loans. 8 years is crazy. And with the
30%?
price of
That
vehicles
has to be
constantly rising,
illegal.
those term lengths are
That should
just
be
going to get
legal.
longer and longer.
I had a net worth north of the seven-figure mark probably a month ago. Made some poor decisions, led to a significant downturn in my net worth.
So you had like $1 million?
Yeah, I'd probably around 1.9 million.
1.9 million. Okay. And what'd you do that screwed it up?
Gambling, lifestyle
Oh.
inflation, partying, doing the whole
Man.
9 yards.
So what did you buy?
Going out, traveling, clubbing, bottles, cars,
Oh.
Airbnbs. It was poor decisions, and then a lot of gambling.
So what kind of
We
drugs
got
were you
help.
doing? Yeah, you
Oh.
definitely
Yeah.
have a drug problem, and you definitely have a gambling problem, and you definitely have a lot of problems. So what are we doing to fix the problems?
I did start going to gambling, or going to therapy for gambling
good.
specifically, and
That's
then downsized a lot of my life, cut back on majority of my expenses.
Okay, so what did you or do you do for a living?
I did a lot of marketing and crypto. I'm also in college,
Oh.
so this was all just a side time thing that was working out really well, I guess.
How old are you, honey?
I'm 20.
So he had 1.9 million at 20 years old, and he squandered
blew
it
it.
from gambling and overspending. My guess, though, is that almost all of the money that came in was from cryptocurrency, which
Yeah, I guess I guess at the positive side is that he's 20, he's young enough. He knows that he screwed up. He knows he messed up. And it sounds like, I guess we can only really take his word on it. It sounds like he is trying to prove himself. I hope the dude is able to recover and is able to get the help he needs with both the gambling and drug addiction. Like, gambling addiction is a really serious thing. Like, you get into it. Like, I had not gambling addiction, but I was able to recognize that it is a slippery slope. I will say, if you have like an addictive personality where you find yourself latching on to something for maybe a little bit unhealthy amount of time, like for example, if you like Pokemon, but then you really love Pokemon, you want to get all the merchandise, you want to get all the trading cards, you want to watch all the shows. But to me, I'm not a medical professional, but to me, that's like an addictive personality where you're so into it that everything, your whole life is dedicated to one thing. To me, that's a addictive personality, and I struggle with that from time to time. But thankfully, I'm able to like stop myself. When I was younger, I had a little bit of gambling problem, but thankfully, I stopped it. So for someone who, again, I can't say I am not diagnosed, I don't know anything, I don't go to doctors, but I will say as someone who has experience with addictive tendencies, it is a slippery slope. And my suggestion, if you want to go to casino, if you want to do gambling, have someone who you know is responsible financially, who can like say, "Hey, you're kind of spending a lot of money. You need to probably cut back or know your limits." Honestly, like you kind of have to know like, "Ooh, I got to stop." But I'm really glad the guy is getting help though. A lot of people uh, get help too late or they don't get help at all and they find themselves homeless
Is not doing well
or
right now
worse.
whatsoever, and a lot of people would also consider that gambling as well, and he won big. But as we've seen before, it is never enough. Along with living that kind of lifestyle, the partying, the cars, that's how almost $2 million vanishes very quickly. Having $1.9 million gives you $70,000 of passive income in a savings account every year. You literally never had to worry again. That was my first thought as well. It gave that kid so much more freedom. Again, at 20 years old, he had his entire life ahead of him to do basically whatever he wanted. He could have retired at 20. I mean, it does depend on where he lives, if it's a high cost of living environment, but regardless, it could have significantly reduced his financial burden for the rest of his life. He could have invested it and lived off the dividends comfortably, and that was basically the entire rest of the comment section. This is a scenario that people legitimately dream about, and it was squandered. We got another clip up on screen right now. We make $12,000 a month, so why do we still feel broke? Rent is $25.50 a month. Food is $1,500 a month. Daycare is $1,616. Car
gross.
is $407. Student loans are $1,100, and the rest just disappears. And if you kept up with the math there, something doesn't seem right. So $5,000 just disappears. $1,100 in student loans, but I do know there are a ton of people in a crazy amount of student loan debt. And $1,500 in food, a family size of 3. The food's not making sense. It does seem pretty high in my opinion, but again, $12,000 is apparently coming in a month. It doesn't just disappear, it goes somewhere. Where does it go? Don't forget the phone bill, car insurance, Wi-Fi, water, trash, and gas and electric.
Still was add
But still, I don't think that costs
though.
an extra $5,000 a month. You need a budget and stick to it. Many people out there would be very happy at $144,000 a year, but if you don't budget and think you have all the money in the world, you could still get stuck in a situation like this. Now, this next one up on screen is a different version of financial illiteracy that I think many people are guilty of. Sorry, mom, for begging you for money almost every day for a game I don't play anymore. If you're into video games whatsoever, you already know how intrusive microtransactions are. So regardless if the game is free or $70 now, people will end up paying way more for skins on their character, in-game currency, special items, I mean, you name it. And whether you want to admit it or not, you're probably not going to play the same game for the rest of your life. And many feel like it was just a complete waste of money down the road. Me saying it's only $20 most of the time for a single skin is $20, realizing that's 1 hour of her hard worked time. Exactly. Bro, I convinced my mom to get a Samsung for the iconic skin. If you don't know what that is, it was a special skin that you could only get if you bought a Samsung, I think Galaxy, or just one of the Samsung phones a long time ago. And I don't think I have to tell you one of those phones is a lot more than 20 bucks. But we got a comment from you guys here. I really can't stand the term girl math.
Oh, I hate that term too. But yeah, it's just like, I guess if you're gonna get a game, if you're going to get skins and stuff like that, think about, I mean, that person who made a comment about like this one here, I bet realize that's 1 hour of her hard work time. Think about that. Like when you're spending money, right? Think about how much money do you make per hour? Okay. Is that thing sorry. Is that thing worth 20, or is that worth 1 hour of your working time? If yes, then I guess go for it. And some people are gonna say yes regardless. But think of it that way. Is like you're spending your time, your life on something. And it's just, if I guess if you think about that perspective, maybe you would spend less money. But yeah, cosmetics. I buy cosmetics. So I'm not like shaming people who buy cosmetics and microtransactions. You buy what you want to, your money. But I guess like just be more careful if you can.
Realizing that's 1 hour of her hard worked time. Exactly. Bro, I convinced my mom to get a Samsung for the iconic
That one's
skin.
crazy.
If you don't know what that is, it was a special skin that you could only get if you bought a Samsung, I think Galaxy, or just one of the Samsung phones a long time ago. And I don't think I have to tell you one of those phones is a lot more than 20 bucks. But we got a comment from you guys here. I really can't stand the term girl math, as if girls can't do math. It's not an excuse, it's self-demeaning. And if you don't know what they're talking about, we got a clip up on screen. Girl math, buying a new car because you didn't want to get $3,000 or more of repairs done
I bet
on
you the
your
car costs more
as
than
if buying a brand
$3,000.
new car is cheaper than $3,000, especially today. It just gets really exhausting.
Girl maths. What is your girl math?
Girl maths. One thing that irks me to my core is this narrative that I keep seeing on social media of girl maths. Hi, my name is Kathlat. I'm an accountant and I share personal finance content. Girl maths is essentially the glamorization of making silly financial decisions. We shouldn't be perpetuating the idea that women are bad with money. And this type of content just encourages the younger generation that it's okay to be financially illiterate. And this girl maths narrative can be also costing you your financial future. In my next video, I'll be sharing 3 things we can be all doing to just become that little bit more financially literate.
But it's fun to hop on trends and make videos for TikTok and spend money you don't have. This happens with men a lot too, but most of the time they're talking about a vehicle. A lot of what I've seen is that women will buy smaller items, but it adds up to a lot of money. And men will just go out there and buy a $90,000 pickup truck that they clearly can't afford and just be completely screwed for years to come. We got another comment here. My grandma spent all of her savings on Emmett Kelly clown statues. Before she died, I asked if I could have one of her statues to remember her by. She said no, splitting up the statues would ruin the collector's value. She died and all the statues ended up being thrown in the trash. I think this is a different form of financial illiteracy because many people will buy items for the hope that they'll go up in value in the future. The collectibles like the Emmett Kelly clowns, I mean the biggest one that you already know is the Beanie Babies and the modern day version of that, Funko Pops. But a good amount of the time these don't appreciate in value. If anything, they might tank because they become a lot less desirable, and the heirlooms you wanted to pass down because it would be generational wealth kind of money really didn't end up being anything.
You had a 2018 Dodge Durango SRT. You're saying that you owe $34,000 on it. Can you?
Does that say 19% interest? Oh my god! And I want to say a quick thing about that. Like, if you want to get a Beanie Baby or a pop vinyl, buy the one you want, and that's it. like the ones that came out first, the ones that were signed by people or a special events, I guess those might like retain value, but like you're not gonna make like millions of dollars off of those things. I'm sorry to say, you might get a little more money, but you're not gonna get the money you want. Just buy the ones that you think are cool or cute, and that should really be the end of it.
Explain the payment part. I don't understand.
When I originally purchased it, I was told that my monthly was going to be $420. They put me through like auto pay system. 30 days passed by. I noticed that the payment came out twice. It turns out that it's actually $820, and that the $420 that we're referring to was like the amount that they were going to be taking out bi-weekly.
You sent me your truth in lending form, your contract. This is why it's very important to look at these things, because if you look at your truth in lending disclosures, your payment schedule says that you signed for a 72-month term at $828 a month and 42 cents. They probably broke it up for the bi-weekly. Whatever you sign and you're going to be obligated for is going to be on the truth in lending form. You bought it for $24,000. You got a 19% interest rate.
Yes.
You traded in a 2008 Honda Odyssey. Was it just the trade-in, or you had money to put down?
Just the trade-in.
What's your credit score right now?
620 or 640.
Let me look up the value of this car. It says you owe $34,000, and it has 74,000 miles.
Yeah, it's 73.
And it's not an SRT, it's an RT.
Fully loaded SRT, I guess.
I'm pulling the VIN up. Dodge Durango RT. It says it's worth about $21,200. That means you're about $13,000 underneath.
Okay, we got a couple things to go over with this one. Another example of somebody not going through the paperwork, didn't realize it was almost twice the amount of what she initially thought the payments were, a 19% interest rate as well, and not even knowing the trim level of your own vehicle. The difference between an RT and an SRT is very big. Thinking that you have an SRT when you have an RT is telling, and with it being bi-weekly along with a 19% interest rate, I wouldn't doubt that they went to a buy here, pay here lot, which is obviously never a good idea.
Hold on. Wait. Let's say Range Rover, right? Okay. Ooh, it's giving Range Rover. It's giving Range Rover.
They're both highly unreliable.
Yes,
the
they're both
responds,
awful
why
vehicles.
do people keep saying this? Because it's true. But that
I remember like 10 years ago when I was like, Jeeps were kind of anyways. But like for the cost of a Jeep at the time, and both were unreliable, but Jeep was still cheaper. I honestly have never heard any good things from Range Rover as far as like fixing them and the cost to fix them. I have only heard bad things. They're kind of just like I don't know, a status vehicle, really. Like, I guess a status vehicle if you can afford to pay it, the repair costs and those things. But I've always heard them, even when I was a kid, like back in like 2011, high school era. I always heard those are super unreliable, always need to be fixed, and the repairs are ungodly expensive.
clip we just watched is all the research some people do when buying a vehicle. They want a Range Rover because it's supposed to be rich people's cars. Even though they're very unreliable, the repair costs are through the roof, but they go and see a two-tone Jeep Grand Cherokee and decide to buy that because it looks similar, getting into the exact same situation when it comes to reliability.
Go do some dumb, bro. Go buy a nice car, buy a watch, do some dumb. Because I used to have like $20,000 a month in car bills. It's chump change.
Rolls Royce.
Now it's at like $60,000, $70,000
that's
if you
pretty.
include insurance. But I kind of want to get it to $100,000. You know what I mean? Let me know if I should buy another car. I don't know. Maybe we should just be more financially illiterate. You guys have to progressive overload life, right? I buy dumb because what does it do? It forces you to make more money. I wouldn't be grinding as hard as I am right now if I didn't buy that car.
Doesn't make any sense.
Just facts.
And if you don't know who this is, his version of grinding is just selling more courses to kids who don't know any better. This is another copy and paste alpha male day trader type of guy. You guys know what I'm talking about, the Andrew Tate type people. And funny enough, he's implementing a very similar strategy because I went over to this page that isn't an official account, it's just a clipper of his videos. And when you go join his architect army for $500, the clipper gets a kickback from this and makes money as well. But another thing to add on with the $70,000 worth of car payments a month, we took a look at a couple of examples of his Lamborghini Sion getting repossessed, even though he wanted to show it off and say how young he was getting this multi-million-dollar car, but he could never actually afford it in the first place. I bet he made hundreds of videos with it before it got repoed, just to show off to all the 18-year-old guys who don't know any better.
I have decided to move up and pack my entire life to New York. So that's what we're going to do.
New York State, right?
I'm taking a train there. My train ticket's about $200.
New York State,
so
right?
I have to get some stuff that I can use on the go. It's about a 20-hour train ride. I know. But I have no plan, no house set up, no job set up. We're just going. We're in the. I do know one thing. I'm on a budget of like $400, and I know you're like, Allie,
New York State, right?
Are you gonna live in New York with $400? Don't question the queen, all right? Just know I got it taken care of. So if this is on your For You page and you want to watch me move my entire life to New York from West Virginia, then follow a send up some money, send me up a GoFundMe or something.
So don't
You
worry,
plan on
I'll
living with
find
the
out how
Amish
to
or
make some
something?
money. And then a little bit later in the video, it turns into, could you please send me stuff on Venmo or set up a GoFundMe? That's how I'm going to make my cash. I'll just beg on the internet. Girl, you need a plan because West Virginia is nothing like New York. And I hope you're ready because New York is expensive. You're going to go to New York to do what? You said you had no plan. I'm curious. Not going to lie, it's not the early 2000s or 90s anymore where you could pick up and move somewhere and live off a couple $100. If you're picking up and moving somewhere like New York, you need a plan. Are you okay? You have to at least have somewhere to sleep in NYC, and it's not cheap. No plan, no living situation, no job plan. Girl, stop acting like she's doomed. NYC is one of the biggest cities in the world, and there's always jobs available. She will find
But
a
she
way
didn't
to
have
make
any
do.
job
That's why
lined
so many
up.
people are currently leaving New York City. I bet there are jobs available. You just won't make enough to live there. Rent for a shoebox apartment is literally thousands of dollars a month. I'm not saying you're not allowed to move wherever you want, but having no game plan along with no money seems like a disaster waiting to happen.
I'd consider myself pretty financially literate, and I choose to make
that face.
I choose to make poor decisions and then can't even justify it to myself later looking at it. But I look at the numbers and I don't know where all my money's going.
What?
How are you financially literate, but you don't know where your money's going? What are you talking? That doesn't make any sense. Those contradict each other to the extreme.
Every single bill since I was 18, everything is all paid on time. Nothing hits collections, nothing.
You're financially literate, you say. You pay your bills, all this stuff. The credit limit on here is $10,700. You're at $10,967. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Interest hits like a truck.
So why are you purchasing on it then?
Yeah, so I'm in this loop where my credit card minimum payments take up like all of my income. So then when I have to buy things like gas and groceries and fun money.
There should be no fun
money. Smirk, smirk, smirk. Why would there be fun money?
There is no fun money when you
But don't
owe
worry, guys.
money.
He's financially literate. Bills aren't paid on time if your credit card isn't paid in full. That sounds like he might have some impulse control issues. Again, probably doesn't mean this guy's financially literate. I really don't know what else to say about that one. We could just move on.
Hate to be the 20-year-old that's more financially literate than a 50-year-old with kids. For context, this guy was using Afterpay and Klarna on multiple Balenci and Rick Owens pieces just to impress some teens on the internet.
Balenci
I don't care what any of you say, buying reps is 10 times better than using Afterpay or Klarna for anything. I know some of these pieces are your grails or whatever, but to me, does the quality justify the price difference? No, it never does. I don't care if you talk about the artistic design. You could get that from China for 10 times cheaper.
Now, I know people love to argue online about authentic and replica items. When it comes to shoes, clothing, I mean, really anything. I personally don't really care what you wear, but if you're using Klarna and Afterpay to buy Balenciaga items to show off to random people online when you're a grown adult, I can't really say that's the best decision to make.
So I will say the only time I would ever buy something that is the brand name is something that when it comes to safety, I don't know, like an outlet or an electronic device. Just because I guess there could be safety concerns with clothes, but I don't really know how. So clothes and stuff, I really don't care. I have a pack of I wear the same sweatshirt. I wash it, of course, but I wear the same sweatshirt all the time and same shirts all the time. I don't ever have the need to buy the brand new things. Who cares? I guess I'm a VTuber, so no one's gonna really see what I'm wearing anyways. But when I'm working and stuff, they don't really care. I'm working behind the computer, so I guess depending where you live, or where you work at, sometimes you might need to have different lots of sets of clothes, but I just wash my same shirts and clothes and all the time, and it's crazy that something like Supreme. I remember Supreme Is that even popular anymore, Supreme stuff? Where they would go on sale and people would buy it up. And it was just like, it, I mean, I guess some of the things were kind of cool, but you're just wearing something that says Supreme on it. It's no different than like going to Walmart and getting iron pressed on. I just find this stuff silly. Like, again, if you have the money to spend and you want to spend on that stuff, go for it. But I think there's a reason why you see a lot of rich people just wear a basic t-shirt and a basic pair of pants. You don't really see a lot of them wear these loud name brands of clothes and stuff.
It's not even embarrassing or anything, it's just sad, to be honest. And we got another comment from you guys. What happened to a basic sense of shame? People are proud of being stupid and irresponsible with money. Why would you want to share what a failure you are? I think part of it is the dopamine you get from a clip going viral, all the engagement, the followers, possibly money, but a vast majority of the time you don't make a dime off of it. And the other thing is, at least we all could learn from it, watching these types of insane clips and mistakes people make.
Can someone explain to me why, for student loans through federal student loans, when you pay your monthly payment every month, your current balance never changes?
That's
like
minimum
I
payments
literally
are?
am sitting at like $74,000 every month. It doesn't change. Doesn't move. Like ever. Like it stays the same amount. Like, what am I paying for? It's like a bottomless pit. Like, the money is going somewhere but nowhere at the same time. Like, it's not going to my payment because at this rate, I'll never have that paid off because it's not moving. It's been years and it hasn't moved.
You gotta pay more than minimum payment.
And I'm paying like $600 a month on it.
You gotta pay more than monthly payment. Because what I tell you now is, like, for me, for example, I have federal student loans. I have 5 loans, and when I make a minimum payment, so I think I usually do, like, the minimum payment for me is like $350. And when I pay it, if you divide it by 5, right? 350 divided by 5 is like 70. Like $70 per loan. So you're like throwing salt into the ocean. You're not doing anything to it. You gotta make more than the monthly payment on your student loan.
Explain that to me. Like what?
Or anything for that matter.
This sounds like yet another example of somebody not knowing how interest works. Unfortunately, it's probably because most of your payment is going to interest. Your lender should show you what your interest for the month is. Try to double what your principal payment is, or at least make more than the interest amount. Also, make sure to check that additional payments go to principal, not interest. I also learned that the hard way. You need to double your payment in order for it to matter. And this is one that will stick with you for the rest of your life. Even if you declare bankruptcy, you still have to pay back your student loans.
Are the $50 Pawn Stars mystery boxes worth all the hype?
No.
I have no idea, but we're gonna find out. All right, let's open this bad boy. We got a die cast. That's probably like $10. We got a cool Angels card. That's probably like $1. We got a gold card Star Wars Boba Fett. Probably like $2. We got a Hot Wheels. Probably like $5. We got another
Loot
$5
boxes.
there. We got Jim Henson, Kermit. Probably $15. Replica Super Bowl ring. Probably $20. We got a Bike Scout, that's probably $20. We got Lambo, that's probably $10. Star Wars guy, $10.
There's a lot of probablys
This
in
one's
there.
kind of hard to open. We got a random shark tooth necklace and some stickers. I'm gonna put a whopping $4. Oh, you know what? We got Jiggly. We'll do $5.
$5
on those, and we have another Hot Wheels, probably $5. And a random shark.
I guarantee you, man, none of those things are worth the $55. They say mystery, but I'm very sure they probably like that probably stuff's like maybe worth $50, maybe $40 at most.
Shark tooth. I have no idea, but I'm gonna say $1.
This is the stuff they couldn't sell. Very
Yes.
optimistic
Yes, the
pricing.
junk they
No
couldn't
one's
sell.
paying above $1.50 on those common Hot Wheels. Another person just says $20 max. It's from
Yeah, I
Pawn
guess I was
Stars. If
being
they're
pretty
asking
generous with 40.
$50, then it's given that the total is $8. Can't imagine you could sell all of that for $129 within a year online. Highly overestimate, all junk. It's just amazing to me that people still fall for the mystery boxes. You're never getting something that has more value than you paid for the box in the first place. It's just another form of gambling.
Yeah, I was wondering what you guys would offer me on a trade on a 2013 Jeep Liberty.
Perfect, man. How many miles does it have?
It's got 200,000 on it.
200 is not too bad for a 2013.
Hoping to get at least 20K out of it.
20?
20.
Why 20?
Because I've modded it so much, I feel that's what the value is.
What kind of mods
You
do you do
feel
to it?
or
I
you
put
know
a
that's how
lift
much it
on
costs?
it. I upgraded the diffs. I've got oversized wheels and tires. You know, a lot of
200,000
time,
miles,
love,
man.
and care went into this for myself personally.
Did you keep the original parts?
I did not.
Okay. Modding it doesn't do very much because we still are based off book. Have you by chance plugged it into like Kelly Blue Book? Just get a rough estimate?
I did, but I didn't like what it gave me on there. It told me probably 3 to 4K.
So this guy wants an extra $17,000 on his 200,000 mile Jeep just because he put a bunch of mods
How
on
is the
it. A
dealership
good
gonna
rule of
flip
thumb is
that?
if you decide to modify your car, any of the extra money that you put into it is basically lit on fire. It does
Yeah.
not add value
It's
to the
not
car.
gonna add
So this
value.
guy's clearly having a rude awakening because his car is worth only a couple grand. I wouldn't pay $20,000 for a new Jeep
No.
Liberty. Bro will
Yeah.
be lucky if he gets $3,000. It's a crap car. 200,000 miles on a 12-year-old Jeep Liberty, asking for 20 grand. That thing's worth a 12-pack of RC Cola and like 4 sugar cookies tops.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I've never been a gatekeeper. So if y'all don't have Chase Bank, y'all go open an account because they just sent me a card. It's like a Freedom Unlimited card or something. Bro, tell me how whatever you pay for, they put that amount of bread in your account. So like I just bought a TV. It's like $350. I checked my account. There's $350 in my account. I was like, oh, like there's got to be a mistake or something. So I went to go fill up my tank, like $45, $50. That pops up in my account. I'm like, bro, it's literally Chase Bank is the best, bro. So I'm not a gatekeeper. Had to let y'all know. But
What's the
do
caveat?
what you want with that information.
This has got to be the Chase Bank glitch 2.0. Unlimited debt glitch. These are the people who get approved. And that's all that I got for you guys today. Let me know.
Unlimited debt. Oh man, yeah. It's wild. Like I said, I can't say I'm a financial expert. I am trying to get better myself, but if nothing else, hope you learned some lessons from other people's poor financial choices. Anyways, thank you everyone for watching. If you have anything you want me to react to, or if there's other like financial videos you want me to react to, put in the comments below. You can also go to the link in the description to Discord and you can add your suggestion there.